Actually, there's a whole bunch of things, a few things that I would like to learn this Erev Shabbos with the Chevra. I first wanted to welcome Shimon Shon back home. That's the first thing. I wanted to wish a happy birthday to Aryeh Cohn. Yeah. There's a Rambam in Beis HaBechira. The Rambam in Beis HaBechira, Perek Daled, Halacha Aleph. The Rambam says, Even Haisa b'Kodesh HaKdashim. There was a rock in the Kodesh HaKdashim, b'Ma'aravai in the west, and on this rock, we call this rock the Even Shesiyah. On this rock, Haya Aron Munach. The Aron would lie on this rock in the Kodesh Kodashim. V'lefanav, and in front of it, Tzinsenes Haman, was a picture of Man. Umata Aaron, and the Mata of Aaron HaKoyin was in front of this rock. Then he says, Be'esha bana Shlomo Sabayis, when Shlomo HaMelech built the Beis HaMikdash, the Yadash Saifai L'Charev, and he knew the Beis HaMikdash should be destroyed. Bana Makayim, he built the second place. Lignais Baya Aron Lemata, to Gaines, to bury the Aron beneath the ground. B'matmainios, in this hidden place, he built some underground cave structure to hide the Aron. Amukais, he says it was very, very deep. Val calculois, and he says Yoshi. What does it mean, akalkulois, the Rambam? It was very deep, and akalkulois, I'm not sure what that means. And Yoshiyahu HaMelech commanded, and later, when the Beis HaMikdash was going to be the end of the first Beis HaMikdash, he hid it in the place that Shlomo HaMelech had built. Shlomo HaMelech built the place for the Aron because he knew the Beis HaMikdash should be destroyed. Yoshiyahu hid it there, and it remains hidden till today. My Rebbe claims he knows where the Aron is hidden. I believe my Rebbe did a lot of research. He claims he knows. He once gave me sheets of papers from an archaeologist, Wilson, a British archaeologist. He said, if you read this, Daniel, you'll also know where it's buried. I tried to read it. I don't know. I don't remember what the sugya was. My Rebbe says that he knows where the Aron is. He was very, very curious. I guess like Raiders, the Lost Ark, Lahavdil. What? It's based on Wilson, this guy. And my Rebbe he's very interested in. He's a curious person. Lemaisa, it says that Yoshiyahu buried the Aron and fastened the second Beis HaMikdash. We did not have the Aron. We only had the Aron in the first Beis HaMikdash. In the second Beis HaMikdash, we did not have the Aron. It's hidden. There's a lot of conversations about the second Beis HaMikdash not having the Aron. The Lubavitcher Rebbe fascinatingly, I should say, rather than famously, fascinatingly, the Rebbe asked that what the Rambam's a halacha sefer. Why is he telling us this story? That Shlomo HaMelech built the Beis HaMikdash, and he knew it was going to be destroyed, and he built a place for the Aron Kodesh, for the Aron, to be hidden, and Yoshiyahu hid it there. Why did the Rambam say that? It's a halacha sefer, not a history sefer. And the Lubavitcher Rebbe claims that the Kodesh Kodashim is only Kodesh when it has the Aron. It's only Kodesh when it has the Aron. And he says what the Rambam's saying, and he shows it in Psukim, in our Parsha, and he's saying, the Rambam's saying that there are two places for the Aron. There's on top of the Evan, and Shlomo HaMelech built the place to hide it. Those are considered both places for the Aron. And the Kodesh Kodashim is holy when the Aron's in it or in its hiding place in some proximity to the Kodesh Kodashim. That's the spot of the Aron. So the Rebbe said famously that we have an Aron in the second Beis HaMikdash. Where is it? It's hidden. The Rambam is giving the halacha, and he said there's an Evan in the Beis HaMikdash. In front of it, or on it, I should say in front of it, on it is the Aron, and Shlomo HaMelech also had a second spot for the Aron. So they're both the Mekaymas to the Aron, so it's called we have Aron. One it's on it and one it's hidden. There's something I very much like. It's not just like a halachic lamdas, like a geschmacka, brisker Torah, the Lubavitcher Rebbe said. I like a lot that even when it's hidden, even when we're in a matzav that looks like this repair, that's called the Aron's in its makayim also. It's not like we have the Aron and now shucks, it's lost, we don't know where it is. No, there's a place called hidden. There's a place called hidden, and it's purposely put there, and the Beis Hamikdash is holy when the Aron's hiding also. I happen to appreciate that a lot, but that's concerning the Aron and the hidden, and the Lubavitcher Rebbe said. There's a lot to talk about and to focus on in terms of the Aron. It is a pretty big, important part of Parshas Teruma, this week's Parsha, the Aron. I want to speak about a specific story that happened to me that I'm thinking about this week. I'm not going to be Zaychet to be in Yeshiva this Shabbos, so I want to tell you a story that happened to me on a very, very similar week, going back a few years ago. I try not to miss, Baruch Hashem, I don't miss too many off Shabbos over the years. And a few years ago, Parshas Truma. Seems my habit in Parshas Truma is to miss, because I missed a number of years ago, Parshas Truma. I was flying to Los Angeles, it's probably 4 or 5 years ago. Now I was missing for somebody who learned here for many years, and I felt to go there, and I was on my way. Now I actually was leaving the yeshiva and leaving my family, which both things I don't want to do on Shabbos, and I was doing both things. And I was on the plane, and I was preparing shiurim, and then after I prepared shiurim, so I'm going to learn now. And it was Parshas Truma, it's this week's Parsha, and I took out a sefer, and the first word in the sefer was as follows. This is the first word in the sefer. The Rabbi Yerucham Levavitz was the mashkiach of the Meir Yeshiva. And Rabbi Yerucham had been mashkiach a long time, and he was thinking about retirement. He had decided Yisrael he wants to retire. And he's thinking about spending the rest of his life holed up somewhere and learn Torah. That's it. Nice to see you. Great to see you. So he's going to retire. He had spent a career teaching Torah, being mechanech talmidim, and he decides, great to see you too. He decides to retire, and he decides that he's going to do a Geirul Hagra. You know what a Geirul Hagra is, Yisrael? It's a way of turning psukim, of looking at the Torah, and the Torah tells you what to do. It's called the Geirul Hagra. If anybody wants to know how to do it, there's an English book called Where Heaven Touches Earth, and he actually says how to do the Geirul Hagra. So if you want to learn how to do it, Where Heaven Touches Earth is an English book. You can buy yourself a copy. The author will make money. I don't know who he is, and you'll find out how to do the Geirul Hagra. But he does say in that book how to do it, if I'm not mistaken. So the bottom line is the system of turning the Torah, I don't know how to do it. My Rebbe has done it a number of times. My Rebbe does the Geirul Hagra. I don't know for sure. Rav Aaron Cutler did it. I don't know if my Rebbe learned it from Rav Aaron. Rav Aaron did it. Rav Aaron wasn't sure to come to America or not. In Europe, everybody called America the Midbar. It was called the desert because in the frum sense, it wasn't cultivated. There weren't yeshivas and a built Torah community, so they used to call it to the desert. That's what people called it, the desert land. And Rav Aaron did the Geirul Hagra to see if he should go to America or not. And it came out to the pasuk that Hashem said to Aaron, "Go to Moshe in the Midbar." And he took it as to join Reb Moshe Feinstein in America, go to Moshe in the Midbar. And Reb Aaron came to America. So many great people use the Geirul Hagra for different purposes. My father-in-law, my wife's father, my stepfather is a person who knows the Geirul Hagra as well and has used it many times, the Geirul Hagra. The last time he used it, it was so clear, it told him what to do. He was alone in a house. He ran out of the house. He got so scared and overwhelmed. He did the Geirul Hagra, he just ran outside. He decided that maybe he's using a power that's going to lose merits for him, lose the chuyas. He'll lose the chosim. So he decided that he's never doing the Ger Lagra again. He made a commitment that I'm never doing it again. Like, Ad Kan, and he promised never to do it again. His Rosh Yeshivas in Denver, the Rosh Yeshivas in Denver, Colorado, had a big decision, Yehuda, and they asked my father-in-law to do the Ger Lagra again. So he said to his Rebbeim, I promise not to do it again. They said, be Mata Neder, we need it. And they encouraged him, he was Mata Neder. And this is the last time he ever did the Ger Lagra. The pasuk came out. He had made a neder never to do it again. His Rosh Yeshivas told him to be Mata Neder. He did it, and the pasuk came out to Tamim Tiyah Hashem Lakecha, which Rashi says Tamim Tiyah means go betmimus. Just follow Hashem with naivete. And Rashi says Al Tidrash Eso Asidas. Stop trying to figure out what's going to be. Oh boy. That's the last time my father-in-law ever did the Ger Lagra. He's never done it since. Tamim Tiyah, after he was Mata Neder and his Rosh Yeshivas had him, that was the pasuk that came out, Al Tidrash Asidas, don't seek out the future. But there's something called the Ger Lagra. L'maaseh Rabbi Yerucham did the Ger Lagra. When he was clearing whether to retire or not, he did the Ger Lagra. It's interesting. When I came here 25 years ago, my Rebbe wanted me to be a Rebbe in his yeshiva, the yeshiva I grew up in, and I was clearing between coming to whatever being a Rebbe. My Rebbe wanted to do the Ger Lagra. I didn't want that, but he said, let's do the Ger Lagra. That's what he wanted to do. L'maaseh, Rabbi Yerucham did the Ger Lagra. When he was clearing, should he stay in the Mir, or should he retire? He was actually going to go to Kelm and just learn on his own, by himself, the rest of his life. So he does the Ger Lagra. I was reading this story on a plane on the way to LA, leaving the yeshiva and leaving my family. And I'm reading, the first thing I said, after I wrote speeches, the first thing I sat down to learn is I read this story of Rabbi Yerucham did the Ger Lagra when he's clearing if he should leave the Mir Yeshiva, retire to Kelm, or stay in the Mir. And the pasuk comes out to that after he does the Ger Lagra, b'tabois ha'arayin yiyu abadim. The Arayin, this week's Parashas Truma, the Arayin has rings, tabois ha'aron. The purpose of those rings are to put poles through the rings, machlokes rishonim, exactly where those rings are. But they're rings that are attached to the Arayin. In the Arayin is poles in those rings. Now the pasuk says, "B'tabois ha'arayin," in the rings of the Arayin yiyu abadim should be the poles. Lo yasur mimenu. It's an iser daraisa to take out the poles. The poles must remain attached to the Arayin forever. It's an iser daraisa. If you just pull out the poles, you just did an iser daraisa. Now, very, very strange iser. We know there's an Isser the Chaz, there's Isser, we're learning the Isser of Lashon Hara. There's an Isser Daraisa to take out the poles out of the Arayin. They must remain in the Arayin forever, untouched, the poles of the Arayin. B'taboy, it's a pasuk in Parashas Truma, B'taboy sa'arayin yiyu abadim la yasir menu. In the rings of the Arayin should be the poles, don't ever touch them. I'm the first guy who would take out the poles. I'm a guy comes to shear in a coat, I get all upset. Make yourself at home, settle down, young man, show up. Guy comes in a coat, is not here. He's already not, be here, you're here, be here, you're here. Be here. We have this, give up the altar Navar, they give up 1,000 tomorrows for one today. A guy in a coat is not here. It's interesting, a guy in a coat is the same at your chasna, doivi at your chasna, be present. Show up at your chasna. I have seen many chasna miss their own chasna. They're all over the place. I saw one particular chasna. It's very normally, there's tons of people there. So he wanted to dance with everybody. He danced with no one. He had this idea. You could see, it was like this. He's going to be a hero ball. I'm not joking. You dance with him like this. This is how it felt for me, and I'm sure anybody else. You put your hands. He was with the next guy already. He was trying to dance with everybody. It was like such a silly plan. Just be present. Now, you don't want to insult anybody. Tell a friend before the chasna, can you make sure people come in with me? But forget about dancing with everybody. Dance with a person. Dance yourself, be there, show up. We were just at Chaim's chasana. He was such a present. Chaim Eckhouse was such a present chasana. He was so there at his chasana. Show up to your chasana. Show up and be present. Be present to this moment. I'm here now. A code is like, I'm not really here. I'm here. Be here. You're here. Be here. Be here. I could tell you that nobody wants to speak to a busy person. Nobody. A busy person is a terrible chill. You're here. We only have one thing. There's no such thing as many things to do. We all in our lives are going to have many things. Just do this one thing. You're talking to your wife. Talk to your wife. Nobody wants to be married to a busy person. No one wants to have a parent who's busy. No one wants to have a friend who's busy. Just there's only one thing. The thing that's right here. Right now we'll learn a chumash. Nothing else exists. We'll learn a chumash. A guy in a coat is already on to the next thing. He's not here. A guy is here, you're here, you're here. A guy is like always, that's that chassan who wanted to dance with everybody and dance with no one. He wasn't here, he wasn't present. The only one you dance with is the one right in front of you. Be b'simchas, your wedding. Shmak. Be present, be settled as best as we can. And I've learned this from the Chevra. I'm learning it from the Chevra. To be present. Give up 1,000 tomorrows for one today. Present. Here. Now, hayoim hayoim. Asher noichim mitzavcha hayoim. The now. Right here and present. So, the badim, the poles in the arain, I'm the first guy who would rip out the poles. Chas v'shalom. Should I be embarrassed to say, what's the purpose of the poles in the Aron Yisrael? Is to carry it. Right now the Aron's here. Mach sachemish, take off your coat. I'd be the first guy who would take out the poles, settle down. You hear now? The poles in there, like you're carrying it, you're ready to take it somewhere else. What are there poles in the Aron? Take out the poles. And yet there's an Isser Daraisa, b'taboy sa'aron yiyu abadim. The poles should always be in the rings. Yes? What? Why? Yeah, I agree. I agree with Yosef. There's an instinct to take it out. So now what's the Torah saying? This pasuk showed up when Rabbi Yerucham did a Geirul Hagra to ask if he should stay in Mir or retire and learn the rest of his life. The pasuk that came up said, "B'taboy sa'aron yiyu abadim." The poles should remain in the Arain, lo yasur, don't ever take them off. Rabbi Yerucham said, Hashem, I get what you're saying. And he took it as a message from Hashem that if you're carrying something, don't let go, don't put it down. The poles stay in the Arain, you don't take them off. You're carrying something, this is your achrayus. Stay focused on your responsibility. You're carrying something, remain carrying it. This is yours. You're carrying it. He took it as an achrayus. Rabbi Yerucham understood, don't leave the Mir Yeshiva. You're involved in something, don't drop it so easily. Don't drop it so easily. That's Rabbi Yerucham saw the message. And if you're carrying something, he stayed in Mir the rest of his life. Not only that, he didn't do vacations anymore. He knocked out vacations. He felt a certain asirus. I'm not saying we all need vacations. We're human beings. Rabbi Yerucham was human also. At that, wherever he was up to, he had a asirus when he saw that. You're carrying something, don't let go. Rabbi Yerucham stayed. The Messiah Sisharm brings a chazal that amaschel b'mitzvah. If you begin a mitzvah, I'm like Gemara, finish it. The Messiah Sisharm is talking about zrizus. He's talking about being a zaruz, a lacquid, and he says there's two types of zrizus. Why am I saying it outside? Let me read it to the chevra inside. Let me read it.
Oh no.
The second, the Messiah Sharm is talking about two parts of Zrizus. And he says, it's in Perek Zion, beautiful piece in Mesilas Yesharim. He speaks about the first rizus is not to delay, is to mitzvah b'liyodcha al tach mitzena. An opportunity comes, seize it. I should jump in, you got it, jump in, seize the moment. That's the first rizus. Opportunity knocks, get it done. Don't tarry, don't delay in going to the mitzvah. Achaz rizus is the second rizus. Achar aschalas hamaisa, after you began already, shekiven she'achaz b'mitzvah. If you grab the mitzvah, finish it. Don't push it away. Don't push it away. Be a goymer, be a finisher. And he brings a very scary Gemara Saita. Listen to this Gemara, it's a little overwhelming. This is like harsh. If you're allergic to harsh, don't listen, but maybe we'll understand it. Kol hamaschil b'mitzvah. Whoever begins a mitzvah, ve'einu goymer, saying doesn't finish it, kaiver ishta yubanav, will bury his wife and his children. Ouch. I'd like to explain what a Chazal saying. That's harsh. Whoever begins a mitzvah and doesn't finish it will bury his wife and kids. It's a Gemara. It says kaiver will bury. It does say is burying his wife and kids. Good deal. Good deal. So you'll hear my pshat and it will fit better in the lashon. What's going on? Whoever begins a mitzvah and doesn't finish, kaiver ishta is burying. Very good diak by Shimon Shon. Doesn't say he will bury. Doesn't say yikvar, he will bury. He's burying his wife and kids.
That's why he didn't finish?
What?
That's why he didn't finish the mitzvah?
Oh, that's... What I want to say, great deal. Doesn't say yikbar, he will. It says kaiver, the man is burying him, finish a mitzvah. What I want to say is when you put down things that you're carrying, your wife and children are the people you carry. And you're a guy, that's what you're doing. You're just putting down your achrayas. Kaiver, you're burying your wife and children. Learn to be a person who carries something and sees it through. You're carrying something. See it through. See it through. You know they have I love these chants ball players have during the games. On three. I love during the games. I love when they say the team huddles, middle of the fourth quarter, and they say finish. They're saying this chazal. Energies are the same everywhere, Shlomo. It's on the court. Finish. Finish. Stay focused. You started something, see it through. So I love that chant in the middle. Finish. We have Rebbeim's meetings. Later in the year, we have like such a type of meeting. Finish. And that's the conversation. Finish. Let's go. Everybody. No being tired now. But like, I love people that have a fakir, the opposite. The great ball, my son and I, we were just talking about it. Manny and I were watching a basketball game of youngsters playing, and we were looking for the guy who has the finished gear. The great athletes late in the game have another gear. They run faster, literally. It's pasha, it's real. It's a certain adrenaline kicks in. They're finishers. The great athletes, I could name names. The great athletes have a second year. Ezra Shulman in the yeshiva. The game got tight, he got better. I promise he was stronger. It's normal, it's just a practical thing. There are people like that. They get better, they'll hit more. Ezra Shulman was exactly that in yeshiva. They're finishers. They get a certain strength and energy. Let it out. Let's go. And they raise the thing. Says whoever's maschel b'mitzvah and doesn't see it through is burying his wife and kids. It means you're a guy who drops what you started. You're carrying it. See it through. See it through. You have a wife. See it through. You took on that. The guy's on. What happened? Hey, hello. His wife, his children. He's a guy who takes on a project and he's gone. By the way, you're diving for the Amud. You see it through. A guy like after got the Chazar Sashatz, he tells his friend, don't ever do that. Never. It's a bad midos. A guy davens for the Amud. Now, it's interesting. There are times a chiyuv comes, Paiskim speak about this. A chiyuv comes and says, I'm going to take over from now. It's very not Pasha Chani. What do you mean you got up there, you were davening for the Amud? You don't just let go. I've said in yeshiva, you're allowed to daven until yishtabach. The Paiskim bring this. How you let it? I daven on Shabbos. My shtel in the yeshiva is it's the closest I come that it's respectful for me to be a chazan. Till Yishtabach, I like davening on Shabbos Kodesh. But how you let it stop then? Paiskim asked this. I chas v'shalom don't want to be a guy who's masked in the mitzvah bein a goymer. The secret is you don't need a chas. It's not called a chas until Yishtabach. Because you're not might say the tzibur on anything. So the Paiskim, it's a diuk in the mechaber that till Yishtabach, some shuls don't even put up somebody. We put up, so it gets everybody together up to Yishtabach. You have no din of the chazan, and the pais can bring that you're allowed to get down from number. You're allowed to do it. If there'd be a problem of maschil b'mitzvah, I wouldn't start. But it's not a problem. That I want to start something because people need something now. I know I'm going to need it. It's interesting. Shimon asks, is there a time? So I want to say there is such a thing. Shimon says there's such a thing. There really is such a thing. You see, Moshe Rabbeinu did the Ari Mikla, and he was an Einus. There's such a thing by an Einus. I'm talking about you're not an Einus. If there's an Einus, there could be reasons to do it. The best thing is not. By the way, I mean this sincerely. A guy's davening for them, and he feels a little tired. Says his friend, "Don't do that. Don't. It's bad midas. You started. Get a new strength. Let's go. Be a finisher. You started something. Let's go." Stark it up. That's a bad mid. Pashut bad midas. Now, if there's a, what are we saying? The kaddish after. I know people switch when there's a chiyuv. I know people are not happy with this. It's a big shaila. Now, sometimes there's two chiyuvim and there's reasons. Okay, I hear. It's not pashut. What? Hallel, that type of thing. Sometimes how there's a reason. A guy can't sing. He's supposed to daven. He might be a chiv. Rosh Chodesh could be a chiv, could daven. And
the original chazan is supposed to say the Kaddish.
so that's good. So then you're not being might see anything. So then who says the Kaddish? The first guy says the Kaddish. So then I agree. Then you didn't need a chazan. He wasn't might see. That's a good yishuv. So if a guy davens and the first guy should say the Kaddish, that's important. Otherwise, you switch. These are real things. These are not like cute. These are not superstitious. These are attitudes. Midas don't get turned on and off. Midas are acquisitions, styles, shitas, deyas. Midas run very deep in a person. By the way, I look at it at sports. I don't look at things like you're a starter. You see things. It's not a mitzvah. But you're makabel for friends, being a person. You took on a project while you're dropping it. People, it would be like a title of a person. This guy's a finisher. I was once looking for a chabura. We had a chabura in Blue Ridge to learn Makras. And I asked Yaakov Metz to run it. And I told him and I told the people he's a finisher. This project will be completed. And we finished the Masechta. He's the type of guy, he took something on. He's not letting go till it's done. He's not like starting this, dropping that. He sees things through to the end. Hamaschem on the Gemara. So this amazing Gemara that says, Gemara Saiti Gimel Amabez, whoever's maschel b'mitzvah and is not goymer, is burying his wife and kids, it means you're a guy who takes things on and you're just dropping left and right. Your response, say it through. On three, finish. On three, finish. Let's go. You started something, be a goymer. You took something on, you're carrying something, see it through. So that's how I took this. B'taboy sa'ara and yuban la yisura. Don't take out the poles. You were what happened? The poles not. You made a commitment to this. The poles stay in. That's how Rabbi Yerucham took the pasuk. Took the vart that the poles stay in. That when you're responsible something, don't be mesiach das from that. This is on your mind. This is your responsibility. Be a finisher. Don't take out the poles in the middle. He took this an understanding to his own responsibilities. When I learned this on the plane, I was leaving my family. I was leaving the yeshiva, so I couldn't turn around the plane. I made a commitment. When I got to LA, I called up old guys from the yeshiva. I said a shir. I literally gathered people in the middle of the night. Literally, we gathered chevra that I didn't plan on doing, but I felt I just got a message. You carry, you don't let go. We gathered chevra. There was a guy in the yeshiva, an amazing guy in the yeshiva, who is living in Los Angeles, at least part-time, lives in LA, and I made sure to get together with a guy who's living and working there in LA. And I asked, normally, ein reach machnas arech. A guest is not allowed to bring another guest. I asked Rishus from my balabas, if I can come with a family member. Once I had this, and he joined me for Shabbos. We had an amazing Shabbos together. But this lesson of Taboy Sa'ara and Yabadim La Yasirmenu, that the Poles are in there. I do want to say, where I'm going to be for Shabbos, I want to tell the Chevra, I Pashan owe you, I need an excuse, Mechatesa. But in the week where it says, if the Poles are in the Aron, I want to say that the Bar Mitzvah's mother, Mrs. Bassman, for years, works for the yeshiva, amazingly loyal. For years, she loves the yeshiva. And for years and years and years, you don't know of her because she's working in a back office somewhere for us, for me and you. She loves this place. She always says she's been amazingly loyal for many, many years. She's very, very organized. She's an extremely important member of the staff, and Pasha gratitude for this yeshiva. I'm going for a yeshiva simcha. For her simcha, she's somebody who for years has worked. I want guys to know it, because sophisticated people have gratitude for the things they don't see also. They just know. The yeshiva takes a lot, and she's somebody for years and years and years has worked a lot, has carried this yeshiva. Really, and her attitude, she always says, call me, and I've called her anything that's needed. I'll do extra, I'll work harder. She just has a tremendous appreciation and loyalty to the yeshiva. So I wanted to say that gratitude and tell the guys she's making the Bassman Mishpach Eliyahu learned in the yeshiva for many years, and together they're making a bar mitzvah of their oldest son. So that's the achrayus. But Hamaschal, this I wanted to give over this message of the Poles stay in the Aron, that you're carrying something, you don't put it down so easily. Hamaschal mitzvah like Gemara is a great attitude. Our wife and kids, you're achrayus, be a bal achrayus. Let's go. You have to learn how to carry something and to take care of yourself so that you can carry something, but to see things through. I love good midas. I love when people learn this. People have all different projects. I remember a number of years ago, our basketball team, we had 2 games left to the season. We were eliminated. It was one of the only years we didn't make the playoffs. One of the only years that we were a very good team, Baruch Hashem. And that year we were eliminated, a complicated year, some injuries, and we had 2 games left, and I gathered the team and asked, do you want to just forfeit both games? Obviously, no part of me, and we spoke it over as a group and said, no way. We took something, and very simply, it sounds funny, but other teams, you committed. Other teams, you forfeit to a team. Another team makes the playoffs, and we determined we won the last 2 games and made the whole season. I remember the 2 games, and it was like a very good midas where we learned. And we traveled. One trip was almost 8 hours, 4 hours before I was back, for a game that we didn't have any playoff implications. And it was actually, I think, guys, it was impactful to the guys, very impactful, that we thought about character, that we had committed to something, and we're going to see something through, and the commitment matters to other people. Midas are midas. They don't get flicked on and off. And again, you could say, Amaschal b'mitzvah. What's the mitzvah? But I just say here was relevant to other people. We had told other people, we had committed to other people what we're going to do. We had committed to other people what we're going to do. I even felt we had a game right now against JC that we had it didn't matter for any of our standing. We were in the playoffs regardless. But the team also committed to play hard, to all be there, because it matters to another team. If we rolled over, it could have helped. It could have hurt another team's chance of making the playoffs. And the guys came and played hard. Again, there's midas, there's attitudes. When you have responsibility, when you have a position, when you have a place, don't quickly just forget your achrayas and you turn away and forget it. That's kaiver ishta yubanim. That's a person who's burying his wife and kids. That's what you're doing. You're taking things that are yours, that belong to your responsibility, and you're totally lost focus. If I had to say a person in our chabura who represents this idea more than anybody, almost anybody I know, it's Rabbi Brownstein Shlita. Rabbi Brownstein Shlita, the pasuk. The Chavetz Chaim would see a person and say a pasuk that defines the person. I think if Rabbi Brownstein walked into the Chavetz Chaim, he would look at him and say, "B'taboy sa'ara and you abadim la yasir mimenu." Rabbi Brownstein, really the lessons of somebody who takes Achraya seriously in incredible ways, in mind-boggling ways. It's an inspiration for us all. Somebody who's loyal to his responsibilities, remarkable, with a tremendous loyalty and consistency and strength. But the lesson for all of us are going to have a wife and kids. Be there, carry it, and take it seriously. Don't be a guy who like drops. So like, where'd you go? I'm out. Like what? You committed to carrying something. Take it home. Finish on 3. Finish. Maskim Yisrael. He brings further. I'll tell you from Baba Kama. Whoa. Okay, I'm going to tell you from Baba Kama. That's it. Always talk like a mensch. Johnny, I'm going to tell you from Baba Kama. Nezikin makes you smart. If you learn Nezikin, but don't learn it shallow. I'm going to learn Baba Kama. You want to learn Baba Kama? The pasuk in Mishpatim says, listen to this. Listen to this, Johnny. The pasuk in Baba Kama says, Yosef, I like coming from our Masechta. The Gemara Baba Kama brings the pasuk in Mishpatim that says, Ki yiftach yishkra ish bar. If a man will open a pit or dig a pit, Balabar Yishalem, the owner of the pit, has to pay dubi. Ask the Gemara Kasha. If you're chayiv for opening a pit, you're obviously chayiv for digging a pit. If you're chayiv for opening a pit, you're obviously chayiv for digging the pit. Says the Gemara, it's a Kal V'Chomer. Now, if it would say it the opposite, the Gemara would have no kasha. Yisrael, if the pasuk would say ki yichrech ishbar, ki yiftach ishbar, then it's a loy zu afsu. Not only this, even that. If you dig a pit, or even if you just open a pit, you're chayiv geshmak. That's normal. You say your biggest chiddush second. It's called the loy zu afsu. Not only this, even that. Everybody talks about, including the Torah. But you don't say the opposite way. You don't say if you open a pit, Zu vein tzarich loymar zu is shver. You already said if you open a pit, you're chayiv. Obviously, if you dig it, why are you saying then? And by the way, if you dig it, you're chayiv. Duh. It's the Gemara's kasha. Answers the Gemara when it says you dug the pit, it doesn't mean you dug the pit. How deep does a pit have to be chayiv for killing an animal? How deep, does a pit have to be chayiv at killing an animal? 10 tvachim, good Yosef, 10 tvachim. 10 tvachim deep. So it means if one guy dug a pit of 9 and a second guy digs one little measly tefach, he's chayiv for the whole thing. Because the bar is called al shem ha-goimra. Since you finished it, the whole thing is called yours. And he's chayiv, and that's what the Torah means. Ki yiftach ish bar, if a man will open a bar, is chayiv. Not only that, if you only dig one tefach of a bar that was already 9 deep, you're chayiv. It's a tremendous lesson from there. And the lesson, welcome home, Oyo. The lesson is that the guy who finishes is called, the whole thing's called after you. I wanted to read this Chazal to you, Avla. The Chazal say, Gemara Saiter Weiter. The Gemara says in Saiter, Eina mitzvah nikreis al shem goimra. A mitzvah is called after the finisher. The finisher counts. The whole mitzvah is called after you. Eina mikra nikreis el al shem goimra. A mitzvah is called after the finisher. You see this from Baba Kama. One guy dug 9 tfachim. The other guy dug a measly tefach. But since he finished it, the whole bar is called his. That's l'ra. But me'oivai sichak meini. You have to become smart from forces of evil. L'ra, if you only dig one tefach, you say, what do you mean? I'm just a minor accomplice here. No, you're the bar is yours. Bala bar yishal, the whole bar is called yours. You're chayiv for the misa. The misa you're chayiv for. I only dug a pit, but you were the finisher. And a mitzvah nikreis al shem goymer. What? For Nezikin it says they're both. But the killer bar is not the completer. The killer bar in a mitzvah nikas al shem geimer. A mitzvah is called after the guy who finishes. So this attitude of when you carry something, don't put it down, is a good attitude for a father, for a child. One day by your own children, you're carrying it. Be focused. Don't be mesiach das. Don't be mesiach das. This is your achrayus. This is something you're carrying. Don't easily be a guy who's like out, who's lost focus. That's a very, very lousy place to be. And I think that's this harsh chazal is saying a cool reality. Kol hamaschil b'mitzvah ein hagomer. If you start something, you don't complete it. Koiver ishto yobanav. He is burying his wife and kids. That's the guy he is. He just drops things left and right. That which is his, he doesn't hold on to. So that is this story with Rabbi Yerucham. And on his way, I wanted to share it because it happened to me in Parshas Truma. This story. You about to ask something, baby? Let's sing. We didn't have a Leil Shishi last night. Let's sing a Var Meshabbos song. Maskim, are you? You said Ekra? Lakel Goymer Alei Hashem, my finisher. Okay, Reb Ezi says Ekra, then we'll get to a Shabbos song because it calls Hashem my finisher. Take it away, are you? Ekra Leilokim Elyon, Ekra Leilokim Elyon. Thank you, Aryeh. Let's do a Shabbos song. Let's do Praik. Samech mi goy gal ya 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 mech Okay, I always store the covered Rabbi Ezi. Rabbi Ezi kept the song.
Okay, maybe you're the weird ones for not going right there.
The covered Rabbi Ezi, Kala Wartelski. I wanna. That's what that was Chaim's line. That was Chaim's line. Augustine.
Probably, yeah.
That was Chaim Augenstein called Rabbi Ezi, Kala Wartelski. Okay. Anyway, I'll say a Maisa. I'll say a Maisa. Avi and I heard a story last night, so it's appropriate Parshas Truma to tell you the story. Parshas Truma speaks about the Aron, and on the Aron was 3 boxes. The Aron was a wooden box in the middle, and then it had a gold box on top and a gold box on bottom. It's 3 boxes, the Aron, a wooden box surrounded by 2 gold boxes. And the Lashon of the Torah is mibayis michutz titzapenu zav. There should be gold on the outside and inside. It has gold on both sides. And the Gemara Chazal tell us, the Gemara Brachas Tavchav Ches, that the lesson is a person has to be toichei kibarei. Gemara Kayach Tavchav Ches and Brachas, that a person has to be toichei kibarei. The Gemara said Rav Gamliel used to have a guard by the door that nobody could enter the Beis Medrash who's not through and through. Taichei Kibari, work on your inside and outside. I'm sorry? There's a lot of Hasidic Torah. Had the guard know what he like at Ruach HaKodesh? The guard stood by a door, and the guard didn't let in anybody who wasn't toiche kibarei. If you didn't inside, it wasn't like outside. If you were shtickle fraudulent, you didn't work on your inside, didn't let you into the Beis Medrash. That was Rav Gamliel's rule. Rav Gamliel was kicked out of being a Nasir. Elazar ben Azariah took over. He took away the guard and let everybody in. That's a big question. How that guard? Who was that guard? What did that guard look like? But there was noch a guard by the Beis Medrash. He didn't let anybody in. A Gemara Chavches. Maybe I'll read the Gemara. Maybe not. Let's see. But we learn from this that has to be gold inside and out to work on the outside and inside. So I want to tell you a maisa about privacy, about working on where nobody sees. I'll tell you a good story. And it's a Connecticut story, Chevra. There was a Rosh Yeshiva in Stamford, very close to here. His name was Reb Meir Hershkowitz. He was a Talmud of Aaron Cutler. He was a Talmud then of Reb Schneier. He learned in Lakewood for many, many years. And then he was a Talmud of Aaron and Reb Schneier. My father was in Lakewood for 10 years, and Koilo was with him there. I was Zeichet to be Reb Meir Hershkowitz's son in the Mir Yeshiva. We came at a similar time to the Mir. He was one of the Rosh Yeshivas of the Stamford Yeshiva in Connecticut. When we were thrown out of Waterbury, one of the places I looked at, the Stamford Yeshiva right then had moved to Muncie, and there was an empty building in the Stamford Yeshiva, and I actually went there considering bringing the yeshiva there to Stamford. So I went to Stamford to look at the yeshiva and check it out. So I went to the Stamford Yeshiva. Akiva's the Reb Nachman. He gets this week, if I would be giving out a grape juice, the Reb Nachman award would go to Akiva. Why would he get the Reb Nachman award? Akiva Norman would get the Reb Nachman award. He's maybe the best boarder we've ever had in yeshiva. Benny Stein may be able to argue on that, but he's right up there in the upper pantheon of ski boarders. Akiva's wildly good. Pantheon will be the word of the day. Could somebody look up what pantheon? Could you look it up what it means? Pantheon, Moyo. Read it for Avi, get the word. Loud, Akiva. Respected or famous people is called the Pantheon. It's like this group of like superstars. So Akiva in the world of snowboarding by us, you go skiing, he's the best guy, and famous, respected, appreciated, the top list, the Hall of Famers. So Akiva is a great snowboarder, and I had tremendous nachas that we went on our trip to Moab. It was so much fun. Avi enjoyed so much. We all had a good time. We're going to do it again, B'li Neder. I want to do it again as a yeshiva. And Lemaisa, I was impressed. Akiva was skiing. And Reb Nachman had a big sheet and not to be afraid to start again. We get so safe. I'm guilty of this. I have things I like learning, and I get so safe. Start again. Enter into the world of Chassidus and be a Bak Amaretz. All your life, Reb Nachman was very, very into when you know something well, don't be, people like remain safe and get stuck what they know. Try something new. Ray Brownstein would give the award. I could picture Ray Brownstein giving the word to Akiva because Ray Brownstein's a good skier and started boarding. And Ray Brownstein, you stay young like that, you're not afraid to start something new. And I think there's a tremendous lesson to that. So Akiva, I'm proud that you did that. Thank you, Akiva. Now, Reb Nachman used to have a line. He had a line. You can't say it without explaining it. He used to say, "I don't like tzaddikim." Now he didn't mean he loved tzaddikim. Of course, he was saying that finished products. Don't be a finished product. Start new, fresh. Try something. Don't be afraid. It's geschmack. Finish things. Celebrate. Don't be afraid to try something new, to add something. Don't be afraid. Zarg sich nicht. Don't be afraid. A guy learns Kudshim, all of a sudden he's a Bak Amar, so jump into Kudshim. Then a guy knows Kudshim. Try to learn something, to know something, to explore something. Don't be afraid. You stay young like that. Maska Maria, that was a big Reb Nachman. That's why Akiva Norman would get the Reb Nachman award. Midas, you don't turn on and off. What happens on the ski lift happens in the Beis Medrash. It's Midas. They stay true to a person, explore new things. When guys lock in, Rebbe, it's not my type. It's so sad. When you're 84, I hope you don't know your type yet. You discover new things. By the way, you know what a good marriage, you have a good marriage if you live like this. It's true. I'm 49. I haven't discovered 1/1,000th of me. We're big. You discover little pieces of yourself. I'm discovering me. You think you know your wife? You're so stupid. Guys, he knows his wife. People know their wives and they even roll their eyes. There she goes. You don't know her. And you have a very poor marriage because you think you know her already. Stuck. It's a new person. See new sides. As life goes on, different experiences bring it out. You shake your head when did you figure this out? You see new roles. You change a lot. You have so many situations in your life. Your kids, as they grow, raising a 3-year-old and a 25-year-old is a different world. And you change and grow, and it brings things out, all different situations. It's not the same person responding. We're accessing deep places inside of us. If you're willing to see new in yourself and in your wife, you have an electric marriage. If you're so silly that you're just arrived and you roll your eyes and two people who are stale and boring, there you go. You don't say, even that voice when you say to yourself, there you go again, I'm not stuck the same guy. I'm going to uncover new pieces of me, new sides, new facets, new abilities, new strengths. We don't tap into I've got me, that's it. That's it. I know me. So locked in, so settled. This is what I am. Be willing to uncover, to see. This whole place is a Reb Nachman. This is like a Breslov yeshiva to the max of people who are saying, I'm willing not to know me and to see new parts of me. To willing to see. You have a magical marriage when you're willing. On yourself, you should have it on your spouse. Then it's exciting. Life's exciting. New pieces, new chalakim, new things, a new person. You know already. You have it down. That's silly. Your own children that way. You have it down. I got you. Yeah. Even to each other. When I recently told a bacher, I said that's so not like you. I got upset. He said, you don't know me. I liked it. He gave me stark mussar. Don't pretend like you know me. But he was right. It was good mussar. You're right. I asked Mechila. He's right. I know you. So that's so not you. You don't know me. And neither does he know him. And slowly, I know a little bit, a piece, a claim. You know, you have it down. I got you. You tell your roommate you got him. You think he's got him. It's we are uncovering. Our souls reach to the heavens. We have a little piece of our soul in us. The more we shteltzu, more of the soul gets handed to us. That's how it works. We have to the end of the world. Our soul reaches the heavens. Then we access. We ask, it says, Adam Arishan reach from the earth to the heavens, from one side to the other. Adam Arishan is all human beings. It's us all. We all reach from one end of the world to the other. We access parts, and as we access, we get in touch with more parts and get handed more. He got himself, that's it. When a young guy, the term guy is not my type. Come on, you're so old. The guy's a 1,000-year-old guy. He's an 18-year-old guy. He's not his type. He's not. Chill out, see, explore, uncover, be Reb Nachman. Anyway, back, how did we get so sidetracked? Because Akiva walked in. Thank you, Akiva. Storm and Norman. Good, I'm proud of you, Akiva. Akiva's Storm, and a guy skis like that. Akiva's Storm and Norman. What'd you say? You did you? Ah. Does Yisrael, he boards like that? Yisrael boards also, Akiva?
Yeah, he boards little. I'm definitely better.
Okay, truth over modesty.
No, he's good. Happens to be, he picked up some skis, the last time I went riding with him, in snow, and just because his back, he doesn't like bending over to strap in every single run. He's good. He's good at board. You keep up.
It could be, I'm blaming and unliking Reb Nachman. It could be it's just because I'm the skier. I'm skiing and I haven't done boarding yet. So you join my world of skiing is why I'm happy. But I have to have the guts next time and to board. That's what I have to do. But we'll see. I think it will look like when I skated. If I board, it might look something like that. The Kitzer is, I was in the middle of a story with Reb Meir Hershkowitz. Reb Meir Hershkowitz was a Talmud of Rav Aaron Kotler, and he became the Rosh Yeshiva, one of the Rosh Yeshivas of the Stanford Yeshiva. The Stanford Yeshiva had a very illustrious Rosh Yeshiva. Shlomo, I'm going to tell you a chiddush. Shlomo Guri's Rebbe and our Rebbe, Rav Geisler. Rav Geisler had a Rebbe whose name was Rav Shapiro. And Rav Shapiro, for a short while, was a Rebbe, a shtickle Rosh Yeshiva in the Stanford Yeshiva. Did you know that, Johnny? In Connecticut, Rav Shapiro was a Rosh Yeshiva for a couple of years. Shlomo, did you know that? Isn't that a fun fact? So that was the yeshiva instead of Rav Meir Hershkowitz. Rav Meir Hershkowitz was recently nifter. He was a Yid, a Talmud Chacham, who had taught Torah for over 50 years. And I heard a story from Rav Meir Hershkowitz. I'm going to share it with Rav Ezi on Pnimius, on being a person of insights. Rav Meir Hershkowitz, is it? I don't know. Rav Meir Hershkowitz, his daughter, was very, very sick. We heard the story last night from Tuvia Korn. And he's a pneumistic guy, so listen to this story. Rav Meir Hershkowitz's daughter was very sick, and he wanted to give a merit to his daughter. It seems you're allowed to hand the schus. And he was thinking what merit he's going to give to his daughter, that it belongs to her, should help her have refuah shlema. He wants to hand her one of his schuyas.
When he's not there, or
what? No,
when he's not
in his life. No, he's going to hand, bequeath to her. He's going to give over. It's amazing he could do such a zach. You could sell Bukhari, you could give over a merit. Aaron, you ever heard of Shazach? He wanted to give his daughter's chus. So he's thinking. And he's like coming up. So one of his children, somebody said to him, you're teaching Torah 50 years. Like, what are you struggling with? He said, that had Pearson. That was public. I need something people didn't see. He said, that had Pearson. That's public. That's me bachutz. That doesn't have, that's good, it's geschmack. I need to give her something that nobody saw. He ended up giving, I'm going to bust the secret, because now it's saying in public, but it was only lachar misa. He's not alive, and it was not told. This was something he kept in the family, and they told after 120 that he used, I don't know when this kuf in Lakewood, he would get up 4 in the morning, the bathrooms weren't properly cleaned, and he cleaned the bathrooms. He felt it was like not geschmack for the Cheb. He got up before anybody. He didn't tell anybody, I don't know for how long, and he gave that schus to his daughter. And he said that that's worth more to me than the 50 years of teaching Torah. I want to give it to her because people didn't see it. Because they didn't have pierce. Mi befnim. Mi bayis michut tetzapenu. Gold outside and gold inside. Private, still, zachen that are about you and between you and God. Only the person alain. Now we speak about pnimis, of course, as private things, internal matters, resolving, but of course doing things alone have more of a possibility of being for you alone, you and God. Amazing story. He wanted to give that zechus to his daughter because he said that wasn't seen by people. That didn't give him cover. He didn't. 4 in the morning he was up. Now I'm saying over the story, but he's no longer. He's an olam haba. But he didn't receive cover, he didn't have recognition, nobody knew, nobody saw, he was cleaning the bathrooms. That people should walk into a geschmacka clean bathroom 4 in the morning. He felt that was a schus he wanted to hand his daughter, because that nobody saw. Isn't that cool, like cool story?
Maybe that was amazing.
Yeah. We should read the Gemara Chavches in Brachas. We should read the Gemara. I have a question, but we'll end with this, because we all have to get ready for Shabbos Kodesh. See, what time is that? What time is candle lighting in yeshiva? 5:07?
5:25 steel.
5:25 brick wall, 5:07 is candlelight. 5:10 will be mincha. Come on time so we can have a minute. The Gemara in Brachas, what do you say, Vezi?
Yep. There's mincha.
So let's read the Gemara. Says the Gemara, Tana, we learned in a Braisa Yisrael. I'm sorry I'm going so long. We'll end with this. Oisei Hayom Yehuda. On that day, Silku L'Shomer HaPesach. On that day, Avila means the day Rav Gamliel was replaced. He was kicked out of being a Nasi Yisrael. On the day he was replaced, they took out the Shomer HaPesach, the guard at the door. What a scary Beis Medrash. Whatever is the last place in the world that has this guard at the door, that if you're not Toichei Kibar, they don't let you in. You've got to be sincere, authentic. But they used to have a Shomer HaPesach. And on the day, where was the guard back then also? There's a guard here too. The guard doesn't have to be a physical guard. Kipshut, I don't know if they had a guy standing there. Who could tell? There was a place they didn't value. Yeshiva's main power of influence is what you value. The guard is that if people did all the accomplishments in the world, but they didn't feel was authentic, it wasn't valued. That might have been the guard. I don't know. That guard sticks very well. Every yeshiva builds what they build by what they respect. What you respect, so that's what becomes the currency there. If you respect this, so then this, you have to look at issue, what's respected. If what's respected is sincerity, so then that's the guard at the door. Why would a guy come? He's the biggest hotshot, but he's not sincere. Doesn't have currency. I wonder if that's what the guard is. The Chassidish Sfarim are very busy what the guard is. To me, it's Pashut, that's the guard. It says there was a shomer apesa, where they had a guy like saw through people. It wasn't respected if you weren't sincere. So then what's the guy doing? He's like the hot shot. But if he wasn't felt that he was authentic and sincere, so then that's the best guard in the world. Johnny, a picture, something like that was the guard. Is that like too not chassid? Is that too like musari? I don't know. It doesn't say what the guard was. Maybe that's my influence of two different worlds like coming together, Johnny. I don't know.
What was the next Nasi doing, removing that?
Isn't that Yisrael's so mad? I love it. Thank you for being mad. You're the guard. He's the
guard. He's down the guard.
Guys like you are the guard, man. That's just true. Because you're Toiche Kibare, very sincere. You protect. Thank you. I'm happy you're here. Why the next Nasi taker? Let's read the story. I'm not claiming. I don't want to tell you. I want you to think about this Gemara. I think the Gemara is magical.
Wait, what's this guy? What's he mad about?
I don't know why the next Nasi take down the guard.
Oh, I was mad the other.
The guard.
Why you throwing him out of his fenders?
Isn't that amazing? If you weren't sincere, they didn't. Torah is dangerous. For guys not authentic, they didn't want him in the Beis Medrash. So it said when he got out, they removed the guard. And they said anybody could enter. Gamliel used to have an announcement called Talmud Sheina Toichi Kibar Lo Yikonis Beis Medrash. I have a bomb kasha. He used to announce if you're not sincere, you can't enter. I have a kasha. Why do you have to announce anything? There was a guard. Shmaka kasha. It says that Gamliel used to announce that any Talmud that's not Toichi Kibar can't enter. So I have a bomb kashas. Why do you have to make that announcement? There was a guard within Yana. You don't really need both. It says he was machris v'omer. Because Rav Gamliel used to announce. Why do you have to make the announcement within Yana? What do you hold? I hold the announcement is what kept people out. There was no physical guard. There was a guy. What did the guard do? Like, what does he ask you? Like, you have to give a card or something. And what does he look at? He cards you. Like, how do you card somebody? Toichi kibarid. Turns if it's not respected, you're not getting covered. I'm not impressed by the externals of it. So then it keeps out. You automatically. The announcement itself was the guard. That's what I want to claim, Avila. And if you say Cash is not push-up shots, then why do you make the announcement? What do you hold, Moyo? Yeah, it means they removed the guard because they stopped with his announcement. They were mechabit, a guy was gishmak. That's what I'm saying. You don't have to agree to my pshat, Moyo. Don't let me bully you. I don't know pshat. We're asking the questions are real. Many svarim deal with these questions. These questions are real. And it's like a funny Gemara. There was a guard, they removed the guard, and the Gemara says, you know, Pshat, because the Gamliel used to announce, we have to make an announcement. Anyway, so he announced, Kol Talmud Shedog Bar Lo Yikars Beis Medrash. Hahu Yoima, Itaisi Kamasaf Sali. The day he left, there were many benches added to the Beis Medrash. Now, many ask, why does it say, the Satmar Rebbe asked this kasha, why does it say many benches were added? Many Talmidim came. Speak about people. It says on that day, many benches were added. The Satmar Rebbe said a very funny teretz. He said hysterical. But the Pashup Pshat should say many Talmidim came. Obviously when the guard was taken down, so then the Beis Medrash was mamish gepakt, became a full place. But it doesn't say many people came, it's saying many benches were added. I speak about the benches. Yeah, Gemaras are exact. Many benches were added, many Talmidim. It's true you need extra benches to. That's a strange way of telling. The point of the Gemara is much more Talmidim came to learn, to speak about the Talmud. You say many chairs were added. Now there is such a figure of speech. Many chairs were added that day. That's a weird thing to call people chairs. If you say Waterbury's enrollment really increased, there were many beds added. It's a cute way of speaking. Forget beds, they're people. Yeah, people. It's a funny way of speaking. Many beds were added, many benches were added. It is a figure of speech, but Gemara is very exact. What do you say, Shlomo, to the Satmar Rebbe's kasha? What? You like his question? I like his question a lot. Many benches, yes, Shims.
Maybe it's saying that the people didn't show up, meaning they're not Teichei Kibarei. It's like the opposite.
So Shimon says, since they weren't Teichei Kibarei, it calls there were many benches here. Like they weren't yet the person alone. It's called there was a lot of physical bodies. It calls it many benches. As they grew, then the people came. The bench was there before the bench. Maybe. It's funny. You're not Teichei Kibarei, it says, many benches here, and you needed like new rows, not just a new chair.
Yeah, their own section.
Most a lot of politics. The Satmar Rebbe, he said many benches were added. He said that a person's Teichei Kibarei doesn't care how it looks. He said he didn't care how it looks. He came, he wanted to learn, he wanted the thing itself. He said many benches, they all of a sudden had to make it look all pretty and geschmack. That's what this happened. It's not Pashup Shat. He says many benches. He said it talks about like they all of a sudden redesigned the Beis Medrash. He said when it was Teichei Kibarei people, they were just geschfest to be there. He said there was much like construction. He said many benches were added. They had to like rebuild the Beis Medrash. Kaputz is the word he used. It was like all they added. Okay, no. I think the Beis Medrash could look fancy and nice. Good. But that's what the Satmar Rebbe said, many benches where he said when there wasn't Teichei Kibarei, all of a sudden they had much construction was needed in the Beis Medrash. That's what the Satmar Rebbe said. I'm not telling you that's pshat, Shlomo, it's interesting pshat. Many benches were added. He said there was like a lot of construction all of a sudden. Beforehand, the Chevra was so happy with the thing itself, they were enjoying each other. There was all of a sudden it was external, so all of a sudden they had to redesign the Beis Medrash. Is that a funny Satmar Rebbe, Moyo? Yeah, maybe. Yeah, the Chevra could see it. It's a Gemara Chav Ches Amud Aleph. It says Reb Gamliel felt badly. It says how many, there's a machlokes in the Gemara, how many safsalim were added. And it said, Chavika Shadaite, the Reb Gamliel. Reb Gamliel had a Chalisha Sadas. Amr, he said, maybe Chas v'shalom, I held back Torah from Klal Yisrael. Now you see, his point wasn't to hold back Torah. He said, Chas v'shalom, maybe I held back Torah. What do you mean? You knew you held back Torah. You didn't let them in the Beis Medrash. And he saw in a dream, Hashem sent him in a dream, Liyasu Veidaite. The Gemara says that he had a dream to comfort him. The Gemara then speaks, was he right, was he wrong? You have to learn this Gemara Chav Ches. I'm not prepared right now to learn with the Chevra. We do have to get ready for Shabbos Kodesh. I want to thank Aryeh for being here for Shabbos. Happy you're here, Aryeh. Maybe you'll speak to the Chevra. The Chas and Aryeh, maybe we'll speak to the Chevra. Excellent. Looking forward. Looking forward. Thank you. Let's sing a chassan song also. Oid Yishama. Will you sleep at night? Yarei Yehuda. Oh, bechotzais, Yerushalayim. Oid Yishama. Yarei Yehuda. Oh, bechotzais, Yerushalayim. Kol Sazan, Kol Simcha.
Be a finisher.
Yaakov told me he cleared it.